There's an old saying on the street that if you murder the street's favorite rapper, then prison is not the best place to be. Don't take that as a joke, because shortly after Yella Beezy was checked into Dallas County Jail, rumor has it that MO3's affiliates brutally took revenge on him. The city is not safe. Bodies keep dropping as MO3's affiliates are tactically targeting everyone involved in MO3's death. Let's jump into it. Did MO3's affiliates slid on Yella Beezy in jail? Following rapper MO3's brutal death, Yella Beezy enjoyed relative peace and calmness until his recent indictment and arrest in connection with the murder. This footage shows the moment Yella Beezy was checked into Dallas County Jail, where he was allegedly faced with immense brutality from MO3's affiliates. You know, one thing about jail is that you get to meet with the affiliates of your ops in an environment where you are powerless. And without guns or his Oak Cliff homies by his side, Yella Beezy is weak. Unsurprisingly, when the footage of his intake into the Dallas County Jail was released, a series of speculations was sparked online. Some fans outrightly pointed out that in the footage, Yella Beezy looked defeated as he anticipated the terror lurking behind bars. Unlike Oak Cliff, the Dallas County Jail is not Yella Beezy's territory. He doesn't call the shots and he can't dictate terms. It's no wonder that on arrival, the first thing on his mind was to find his way out. But the question remains, did MO3's affiliates really take revenge on Yella in jail? Well, the rumor of Yella Beezy getting slid on by 3's affiliates in jail started after news reports show that following MO3's death, the city of Dallas was swept by chaos. MO3 was a beloved rapper in the city with allies all over. No wonder after he was killed, his affiliates went on a rampage of retaliatory attack. According to news reports, about 8 people were attacked and killed in different locations of the city over the weekend. At the time, Dallas Police Chief Renee Hall raised the alarm about the increased violence and death rate in the city, blaming it on the irresponsibility of people using guns to solve their problems. She acknowledged that the spike in violence was a result of the brazen murder of MO3.
Since his death, we've had some other shootings and other violence that has been or appears to be loosely related to his death.
According to sources, one of these homicides is the killing of 43-year-old Terrence Reed. Homicide detectives reported that Reed was killed on November 15, 2020, just 4 days after the murder of MO3. Reed was shot and killed in the front yard of his East Oak Cliff home, Yella Beezy's hood. According to police, a 2018 Infiniti Q50 and a 2010 Nissan Maxima drove by the apartment and fired multiple rounds from a 9mm firearm, killing the 43-year-old. Very early in the investigation, the street alleged that the hit was carried out by MO3's HSM crew in retaliation for the fallen rapper, but that was unconfirmed. MO3's affiliates were thirsty for blood, and bodies of those associated with the hit began to drop on the street like albums. As soon as police identified and arrested Q and White as the first suspect in the murder of 3, everyone knew that his life was in danger. However, Q and White was placed in protective custody where no harm could get to him, but that did not mean that the street could not get to him. Shortly after he was checked into jail, his brother was caught slipping. Q and White's close associate, a rapper by the name of Ducky P, was found dead in a car outside of a home in Lancaster. The news was confirmed on social media by blogs, and later on, Q and White confirmed the news. In a post on Instagram, Q mourned his fallen brother, saying, "I lost my other half, my brother, my best friend, my everything. Ain't else to live for." Make no mistake of thinking Ducky P was just a victim of a retaliatory attack, because it runs deeper than that. Fans quickly pointed out that Ducky P was not just a close associate of Q and White, but he was also an Oak Cliff rapper who was rolling with Go Yayo. Fans pointed out that following MO3's death, Ducky P released a song titled Rumors that seemed to reference the shooting of MO3 in a spree of disses. While the song was buzzing, Go Yayo uploaded the video on his YouTube page, adding more salt to the wound. Ducky references the shooter running down on MO3 with skinny jeans, and on top of that, he gave a shout out to Q and White in the music video. The police have not provided a motive for the murder of Ducky P, but rumors have it that it was a setup. According to news reports, MO3's affiliates allegedly murdered Ducky P to get back at Q and White for killing MO3. However, the violence in Dallas did not stop with the murder of MO3. The city was in a rage, tensions were high, and bullets were flying on both camps of the war. Unfortunately, MO3's collaborator and popular rapper Beezy was caught in the violence that followed the aftermath of MO3's murder. Beezy visited Dallas to pay his last respects to his fallen friend. Unknown to him, he was a target of an attack in waiting. Later on that day, it was rumored that rapper Beezy was shot in the leg in Dallas near the Big T Plaza Street Mall in Oak Cliff, Yella Beezy's hood. All eyes were on Yella Beezy for answers, mainly because Beezy was talking about running Dallas before the shooting. Then, in a shocking turn of events, Yella Beezy spoke about the incident. He claimed that when it comes to his hood, he need not call the shots. His homies always handle business for him.
Bro, I don't gotta do nothing. Call no shots. Like, bro, it's Dallas business. Like, you get what I'm saying? Nigga, you not from here. You not finna come over here thinking you finna run something. So that's what the situation was. Like, trying to come over here. I ain't have to do nothing or say nothing. Like,
Fans quickly got the message. One commented, "You might have clout in your city, but going to someone else's hood and doing all that tough talk is definitely how you get clipped." For a fact, the city was filled with retaliatory attacks, and even Yella Beezy himself was not safe from the violence. He was constantly being attacked, while also attacking MO3's affiliates. Yella's grandma testified in court during his bond hearing that her grandson was often targeted in the aftermath of MO3's murder. She explained to the court that Yella Beezy had resolved to buy a bulletproof SUV to ensure his safety on the streets. Unfortunately, Yella Beezy cannot drive his bulletproof car in jail, and he obviously cannot carry firearms there. If MO3's affiliates close in on him in jail, the morning papers would be covered with the news of his demise. That got me thinking, was that the reason he bonded his way out of jail just 8 days after his arrest? An unexpected turn of events unfolded in court following his arrest. A judge reduced Yella Beezy's bond from $2 million down to $750,000. The reason was that there was not enough evidence to detain Yella without bond. Now, Yella Beezy is reportedly out on a $750,000 bond, and fans are not having it. On Twitter, one user voiced out, "Yeah, typical judge lets this punk off. Impeach the judge. Hell, impeach Beezy's ugly grandma too." But make no mistake, the judge did not let him out without some strict conditions. According to Billboard, Yella's bond conditions include house arrest with an ankle monitor, random drug and alcohol testing, and giving up his passport. He is also barred from possessing firearms, contacting any witness, victim, and or any person of interest in the case. Lastly, he must seek written permission from the court to travel outside of Dallas. Some people are saying that house arrest is the best option for Yella Beezy's safety from the ranging hands of MO3's affiliates. However, if convicted of capital murder for the death of MO3, Yella Beezy is facing life in prison and the possibility of the death penalty. However, some people think that no amount of justice served can erase the trauma caused by the brutal killing of MO3. MO3's brutal murder. As the rap gang beef between Mo3 and his once-upon-a-time friend, Yella Beezy, was approaching its peak, tensions skyrocketed, especially on Mo3's side of the beef. Word on the street was that a bounty was placed on Mo3's head by his enemies, a rumor which Mo3 himself acknowledged.
"Yeah, I just hear this type of stuff every day, man. I hear I got money on my head, I heard."
Despite the bounty on his head, MO3 was still moving wrong. I guess he thought he had the situation under control, but he was wrong because, shortly after, a tragedy struck the city of Dallas in broad daylight. In November 2020, Dallas police officers responded to a shooting on Interstate 35 in Dallas. On arrival, they met a dying man, later identified as MO3. He was transported to a hospital but later died of his injuries. MO3 allegedly left the home of a female companion where passed the night. On his way, he noticed that he was being followed by a black Chevrolet Camaro containing 2 shooters. They were chasing him down to kill him. The chase was captured on a dash cam video, which I can't show you because of YouTube community guidelines. But in the video, the suspect's car overtook MO3, who at that point had realized that he was being targeted. So MO3 hit the brakes and got out to the passenger seat, attempting to retrieve a firearm. However, MO3 had limited time, and the shooter was already closing in on him. So he changed his mind die minute and took a run down the highway in an attempt to escape. According to the police, MO3 was unable to escape his shooters and ended up getting shot 9 times. He was left in the middle of the highway, fighting for his life while the shooters escaped in the black Chevrolet Camaro. This is where it hurts the most for MO3's fans. The police did not immediately respond to the shooting, so MO3's dead body was left on the highway for hours, with numerous people taking photos and uploading them on social media. Gruesome footage shows the moment civilians were trying to save MO3 by administering CPR, but unfortunately, all efforts to save the rapper were futile. As expected, after MO3's death, his ops wasted no time to start buzzing the internet with celebrations. Trap Boy Freddy posted a video that showed him trapped in the middle of the traffic caused by MO3's murder.
"Man, whoever got the freeway blocked out need to get y'all shit together, dog. God damn. Ain't get on the freeway. And I got the freeway blocked off all the way on Polk, dog. They got going."
That video was taken just a short distance away from the scene of the incident, which raised suspicion about his involvement in the hit. But Freddy was not worried about suspicions, as shortly after, he would post a tribute to his friends who had died in the past. But that was not all. He then went on to say that it was time to pop the bottle for celebration.
Finna pop some bottles. It's bottle popping time.
However, while Freddy was popping bottles and celebrating, his affiliate, Yella Beezy, would go on Instagram Live to start his celebration. The live was flooded with comments of fans saying rest in peace to MO3 and accusing Beezy of calling the shots. I guess the city did not take it as a coincidence that Freddy, Yayo, and Beezy were celebrating the death of MO3. Word on the street was that the city suffered the devastating loss of 8 people in the aftermath of MO3's death. Following his death, fans were devastated and tributes were flying around on the internet. A fan wrote, "That's my favorite rapper. favorite rapper. I've been listening to him since I was in middle school. Another fan on Reddit added, man, this one sucks. Mo3 was naturally talented as a rapper and a singer. I thought he was going to be huge. R.I.P. It appears that MO3's death caused some fans to change their perspective about the rap culture for its toxicity. The comment reads, I'm starting to be less and less into hip-hop at the moment. It's just hard to listen to a lot of these trap drill guys and then seeing reports of these guys dying in gruesome ways. However, despite the concerns from fans to end the violent culture of rap in Dallas, MO3 would not be the last person to be killed in the Texas rap scene. Recently, on March 3rd, 2025, another rapper by the name of Lil Ronnie was killed alongside his 5-year-old daughter in Forest Hill. Fans are speculating that his tragic death is a continuation of the Dallas rap beef that took out MO3. This footage shows the aftermath of the shooting. As you can see, law enforcement arrived at the scene and marked the territory to retrieve evidence. Later, the victims were identified by a family member as Hood fame rapper G Dollar Lil Ronnie and his 5-year-old daughter, Ramani Sibley. The rapper and his daughter were in a bay at the Sappy Express car wash around 11 a.m. when two men pulled up in a white KIA and opened fire on them. A Forest Hill resident reported to the local news outlets that she heard over 12 shots rang out at the crime scene.
I heard 6 the first time, and then it was like a half a second to a second. I heard 6 more.
The shots called out a lot of people from their homes to the crime scene. When the police officers arrived, they could not control the crowd at the crime scene, so they called for additional support. At the time, Ronnie's aunt, Stella Houston, told news reporters that G. Ronnie was just a rapper and a good kid who never targeted anyone.
He was a good kid, y'all. He was. He didn't bother nobody. He didn't. Him and that baby.
In the surveillance image obtained by TMZ, it appears without a doubt that Lil Ronnie was the target of the hit, but it was unfortunate that his daughter was in the car with him. However, some people think the shooters deliberately killed the 5-year-old. A Reddit user claimed there is a video going around which shows that Lil Ronnie tried to get away from the car to save his baby girl, but they went back and got her too, although other reports say otherwise. The police believe the shooting was in connection with a gang beef. 2 days following the murder, authorities identified Jacoby Russell and Adonis Robinson as the suspects in the shooting. 24-year-old Adonis Robinson was arrested Thursday afternoon in Livingston, Texas, about 75 miles east of Houston. It was also reported that the murder of Lil Ronnie and his daughter is not the first crime Adonis has committed. According to police records, Adonis Robinson has a violent criminal history and is a registered sex offender. A court document obtained by Fox shows that Adonis Robinson was charged in 2019 and later convicted for the assault of a woman who was walking along a trail near Marine Creek Reservoir. It's still very early in the investigation, but fans are blaming Ronnie's death on his affiliation with Go Yayo. They believe Lil CJ Casino has a hand in the murder. However, let's not do police work. No matter how long it takes, just like with the Mo3 case, authorities will get to the depth of the matter, and everyone involved would be arrested. For a fact, Mo3's death runs deeper than what you can see on the surface. There is an interesting backstory to the devastating rap beef in the city of Dallas. Let me bring you up to speed. Why was Mo3 killed? Word on the street is that the beef between Mo3, Yella, Beezy, Freddie, and Go Yayo kicked off when the rappers started tasting mainstream success. On Vlad's TV, Go Yayo revealed that the beef was fueled by jealousy.
I'm going to school with, we used to be real close to where it's real beef now just because you still stuck in the one situation, but I'm in the same city, but I'm living like this. And I'm doing this.
Again, earlier, interviews with Yella Beezy show that Yella was very cool with Mo3 back in the day. When Sean Cotton asked him to rate his top 5 rappers in Dallas, he mentioned his name and included Mo3 in his list.
I want to hear Yella Beezy's top 5 in the city right now.
Freddie, Ye, you said DFW or just
DFW.
Lil Yayo, Mo3.
Without a doubt, at this time, Yella Beezy still had lots of respect for his friends, but fame comes with its own troubles. As the game rolled on in Yella's favor, he saw himself as the top among his peers and began to claim control of the city. Yella would be seen in many videos demanding respect from the hood and claiming he runs the streets. That's about the same time Yella released Going Through Something, in which he sent out shots at Mo3 for being jealous of his success. And some of my closest acting like women, what's up with this? I don't owe a nothing. The music video sold almost 50 million views on YouTube, and Yella kept bagging successes. But so was Mo3. His music was selling, and his name was becoming the talk of the nation. He collaborated with Boozy Badass and even got a major record deal with Epic Records. Mo3 and Yella Beezy were fighting for the position of the king of Dallas. As it was with Young Dolph and Yo Gotti in Memphis, so it was with Yella and Mo3 in Dallas. By this time, tension was already building between the two rappers, as Mo3 told Sean Cotton 8 years ago that he and Yella had a misunderstanding.
we had a misunderstanding. You know, it can be miscommunication a lot of times, you know. Certain shit was said, he said some shit, I said some shit.
MO3 explained that he and Yella were able to squash the beef quite early, and they became cool again. However, the peace treaty was short-lived, as shortly after signing the record deal with Epic Records, a tragedy struck that would change the course of MO3's career a great deal. The devastating events unfolded on May 27, 2017, while Mo3 was performing at a concert at Club Phantom in Fort Worth. In the middle of the party, gunfire erupted, sending everyone scrambling for cover. Tragically, a man named Hector Wilkins was caught in the crossfire and lost his life. By the next morning, investigators confirmed the shooting was gang-related, which only worsened Mo3's situation. Hours later, in an early morning raid, Mo3 was arrested at his home, adding another layer of chaos to an already deadly night. MO3 later told Cam Capone that he wasn't expecting the U.S. Marshals in his home. He was just having a good time with his young son when the raid happened.
I heard a knock at the door. I mean, it was just me and my son. It was in my condo. I heard beating at the door. Boom, boom. I'm like, knocking that hard. I'm not even thinking about no marshals.
MO3 explained that he was taken into custody by the marshals and charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. His bond was set at $100,000. In an over-the-phone interview with Say Cheese TV, MO3 revealed that he was facing 30 years if convicted, but he also bragged about how the marshals let him drive himself to jail and was greeted in jail like Tupac Shakur. MO3 told Sean Cotton that he spent thousands of dollars on lawyer fees, which eventually ran him broke. He later revealed to Vlad the unfortunate aftermath of the club shooting in his career. He claimed that the music business went drastically low and promoters were not calling for performances and stuff like that. On top of that, Epic Records pulled out of the deal they signed with him. Following his split from Epic Records, MO3 released a new jam, True Story, and in the video, MO3 was prophetic. He was dead in a morgue while the attendant told someone over the phone that MO3 was shot and killed in his own city. He addressed the club shooting, saying it was a setup and he took the fall for it. Although MO3 did not reveal the full story, fans connected the dots and Go Yayo's popped up. Considering that Go Yayo hails from Fort Worth, rumor has it that Yayo and MO3 were throwing gang signs and opposing each other in the club that day. While the tension was getting heated, Dallas comedian Roy Lee, a close associate of MO3, would find his place in the beef. When asked to comment on the MO3 and Go Yayo nightclub situation, Roy Lee made bragging allegations. He claimed that MO3 was up against the whole of Fort Worth and Dallas put together. He said that MO3 needs the police to keep him at that time of his career. Although just a comedian, it was unfortunate that Roy Lee's comments were not taken for a joke. He got entangled in the middle of the Dallas gang war. Roy Lee inherited MO3's enemies and continued to send shots at Yella Beezy and Go Yayo. He even sneak dissed Yella Beezy, saying that Yella claimed to run the city only to be robbed in the same city. He claimed that Yella was robbed in the hood because he doesn't hail from the hood. Unfortunately, after the interview, a fight broke out between Yella and Roy Lee at the King of Diamonds nightclub. Lee later revealed on his Instagram that he was jumped by Yella Beezy and his crew in the club because of the interview. Lee claimed that he wasn't lying in the interview, and if Yella would accept, he wants a one-on-one fight with Yella Beezy to squash things out.
I ain't talking to them, I'm talking to you. Y'all want the one-on-one with you, ain't talking about them. Tell them behind you to chill, man. Tell them to chill.
Roy Lee claimed he only needed 4 people with him, and Yella could come with 100. People like he always did. Tensions were high, and tragedy was about to strike. Lee kept on dissing Beezy and requesting a fight. He said that if Beezy doesn't fight him one-on-one, then Beezy is not really a Crip. It turned out that Beezy could not stomach the disrespect, but he had mentioned in an interview that MO3 tried to squash the beef with him because the tension was becoming unbearable. However, while MO3 was still fighting his case and trying to regain his ground in the industry, Trap Boy Freddy would team with Yella Beezy and Go Yayo on his biggest track, Pick 6. Most fans believe that MO3's being left out of the jam escalated the tension, but MO3 later told Sean Cotton that he didn't care about the jam. Then in a shocking turn of events, Roy Lee revealed on his social media that he was involved in a shooting where he caught a bullet in the leg. According to a news report, Roy Lee was wounded in the shooting incident at about 7:50 p.m. September 28 while sitting in the parking lot of Preston Valley Shopping Center. Lee was rushed to the hospital and appeared to be recovering from his injury, but he later died tragically from blood clotting in his heart. To be honest, most people blame Beezy for Lee's death. In an interview with Say Cheese TV, Freddy tried to blame the murder on MO3, but ended up blaming Lee for running his mouth over rappers' beef.
Roy Lee did all that in the internet, like Roy Lee wanted to do the that was going on, whatever he had going against Yella because of what's going on with his partner. So as a man or You know what I'm saying? Hear me, he should just mind his business.
The entire city mourned Lee's death, and MO3 paid his tribute with a new Roy Lee-inspired chain. The police launched an investigation into the murder of Lee, but the street appeared to have handled the business. Barely a week after Roy Lee died, Yella Beezy was the target of a shooting that nearly ended his life. Yella was shot 8 times, and his recovery can only be described as a miracle. Beezy's hit came shortly after the internet was buzzing with threats against Beezy for allegedly killing Roy Lee. According to news reports, Yella Beezy was driving along the Sam Rayburn Tollway when another vehicle pulled up on him and fired multiple shots. According to the police, over a dozen shell casings were recovered, and Yella was shot 3 times. Yella Beezy later revealed in interviews that he was caught slipping after leaving a nightclub. He explained that he jumped over to the passenger side while trying to find his gun, which led to his car crashing. Ultimately, Yella pinned the hit on rappers like MO3, who can't stomach his success and the way things are moving for him. Yella also said that he did not start the beef, but he was going to finish.
100 times out of 100, they started. Now I just don't start nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be the one finish it. You get what I'm saying? Like, we take stuff to a whole nother different level. You get what I'm saying? So
I guess Beezy actually took stuff to another level. However, MO3 told Vlad that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He claimed that rappers get hit up every day, and he would rather be out of the way.
When Yella Beezy got shot up, what were your thoughts about that?
I stay out the way.
MO3 claimed he had no beef with Yella, Freddie, or Go Yayo. He maintained his innocence. But shortly after the hit, MO3 would go on to release one of the most disrespectful diss tracks in the Dallas rap beef. In the track, Word Around Town, he says, "Word around town that somebody got found slumped over in the car body, stretched out on the ground," referencing the Beezy's hit. When no one paid attention, he sent direct shots at Yella Beezy in 219, where he rapped, "In the city they talking, they know what I did. I hit up that rapper, you made him famous, yeah. He barely made it, but he will not again." MO3 was directly saying that he was involved in the Beezy shooting. He also referenced the time Freddie was shot on a Sprinter bus, hinting that he was involved too, also sending subliminal shots at Go Yayo. MO3 had set the city ablaze with his new buzz, and tensions were skyrocketing. Go Yayo jumped on Instagram Live reacting to the disses. He refuted MO3's claims about the shootings. Go Yayo accused MO3 of dropping 219 on Roy Lee's birthday as a means to chase clout and get the city behind him. He called his rap cap in all sorts. Clearly, Go Yayo was upset about the diss. At this point, the stage was set for the internet beef between MO3 and his old friends. Unfortunately, it did not stop there. To win the war, the head had to be cut off. It is no wonder Yella Beezy allegedly hired a hitman to gun down Mo3 and get him out of the way, a move which left him with dire consequences today. And if you'd like to see another video like this, click the one showing on your screen right now.